afternoon, my name is Amanda and welcome to the Done Creative. Before we get into this pick a card, I just wanted to let you know I have a live stream channel where I go live doing readings for you guys over there a few times a week called the Done Creative Live. The link for that channel is in the description. But for this pick a card reading, we're going to be figuring out what your inner child has been trying to tell you, or what inner child wound is coming up to be released or healed. We're just going to see what comes up surrounding your inner child and what it wants you to know. If you're new to pick a card readings, I just ask that you close your eyes, take a couple of deep cleansing breaths to try to center your energy, and focus in on piles number 1 with the Six of Cups of the Muse Tarot, pile number 2 with the Six of Cups from the Spacious Tarot, or pile number 3 with the Six of Cups from the White Newman Tarot. And once you've selected your pile or piles, you can go ahead and check the description box below for the timestamps, and I also pin them as the top comment. Please, please, please remember, these are general readings. I'm reading for a lot of people here, so only take the information that resonates for you and your situation, your childhood, your life, and leave the rest behind. These are for entertainment purposes only, so don't make any drastic life decisions based on this information. Always check in with your intuition first. So without delaying this any further, I'm going to give you a moment to meditate on your cards, and I will see you over at your reading. Alright, group number 1, let's go ahead and find out what your inner child wants you to know, what you're being affected by from your childhood, just anything that's going to come up for you regarding the inner child. And I just use this to select the pile. Six of Cups is that kind of childhood nostalgia card, so we're just going to plop that right back in there. It may or may not come back out, who knows. We're going to clear the deck and get your 3 tarot cards. Does group 1 need to know about their childhood? What is their inner child trying to say? Okay, we've got here the Six of Inspiration, or Six of Wands. Ooh, this one is, these two want to come out. Okay, we've got it. So we also have the Empress and the Knight of Inspiration. This is beautiful. Okay, actually, make sure we can see all that up top, because I still need some room down here for other stuff. Okay, so I think we'll do this. Alright, so Knight of Inspiration, Empress, and Six of Inspiration. So there's Wands energy here. So this shows me you were a very creative child. You were a child that a lot of times just left to your own devices and in your own little world. You felt like you could just do anything. Maybe you had a really beautiful, big imagination. You didn't have to sit out and plan your day. You just rode into action on whatever kind of creative, inspired idea you had, or idea to go play Barbies, like, oh, I'm gonna play out this scenario. Or if you're playing trucks, maybe you just had a really vivid imagination with maybe the trucks were meeting at the dump and they were gonna drive down and have a demo derby. Like, I don't know your life, but I really just see you as a child who almost just lived in your own little fantasy land, and it's so beautiful because that's what childhood is meant to be. And many of you, you may even struggle as an adult with your creativity because it's standing out so strong right now. Or those of you who consider yourself still very creative, you just sometimes wish you could tap more into that just effortless creativity that just seemed to flow like a sieve from you as a child. And with this Empress card here, there may have been an instance where you felt neglected by your mother, or if your mother was in your life, you just felt you wish you could have been more connected to her, or had less, back and forth squabbles with her, or just this need to nurture. Maybe you even as a child were someone very nurturing to dolls or your toys or to your friends, and maybe even just you grew up, you just knew you wanted to be a mother, like you've always known that, something like that. So I'm seeing some of you, it's about a 50-50 split, actually more 60-40 is what Spirit's correcting me now. 60% of you had a great relationship with your mom. We all have ups and downs, but for the most part, it's a beautiful relationship. And then that other 40% of you, either your mother had passed away, was absent, was very neglectful, abusive, So I'm seeing 2 sides of that spectrum. So if that does not apply to you, the whole abusive and not present and all that, don't take that information, just take the stuff that's meant for you. You know, like with any pick a card, only take what resonates, because these are, you know, I'm reading for a lot of people and everybody's got a different story. So only take what fits with you and your story and your life, and don't try to fit something that doesn't. Okay, so I am seeing that your inner child does want you to get more creative. Even those of you who are creatives and in the creative field, your inner child wants you to try things you haven't tried for a long time, or try new creative endeavors. Or those of you who are like, I haven't been creative since I was a child, this is just saying, get back in it, because that is your inner child is crying out to be more creative, to play more, to just, even with like the plans, because, you know, with this Knight of Wands, this wand doesn't make a big plan, or this Knight of Wands, it does not make a big plan to, okay, I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do that. That's earlier in the Wands. That's the 2 and 3 of Wands that are making plans and then starting to take action. This Knight of Wands, it gets an idea and it moves like that. It does not wait. You know, you may even be, they're showing me like doing chores or something around your home, and your inner child, like intuition, is like giving you an idea to draw something or to paint something. You're like, but I don't even have a sketchbook, I don't even have paints. So it's like that moment, you finish up what you're doing at home, you go down to the craft store if it's open in your area, you get the supplies you need, you come right back home, and you just dive right in. You don't think about it, you don't say, oh no, I plan to get these other 3 things done today. You know, you just take action. And that's what, especially when a creative idea comes to you, that's what your inner child wants you to do, is just take action immediately, or as immediately as you humanly can. Oh wow, my deck just hit the ground. So this deck over here is literally saying, drop everything and get creative and get down with your bad self. Okay, let's go ahead and get some additional guidance. We're gonna get one here from the Music Oracles. This has been a favorite. I bought myself this for my birthday and I'm obsessed. Those of you who watch a lot of my pick a cards, you will know these cards are quite frequent flyers lately. All right, what does group 1's inner child want them to know? What is the inner child trying to communicate? What wounds that want to come up to be healed? Just whatever needs to come out. Whoa, Elvis is has come back into the building. He just flopped right down, like, here I am. So some of you as a child maybe really had a deep connection to Elvis, or loved Elvis, or have really fond memories of Elvis or listening to Elvis. Even if you're very young now, maybe your parents or grandparents were really into Elvis and you heard it a lot as a child. But Elvis wants you to know, and is trying to remind you, you are king or queen. You are the king or the queen, and never let reality stand in your way. What were we saying about all this inspiration and make-believe and imagination? Do not let, as an adult now, reality stand here. I'm getting major chills down my right side, which is the more masculine side of taking action. So take action. Do not let reality stand in your way. Say, so what? So what if I'm an accountant? So what if I work at McDonald's? So what if I'm an esthetician? Like, so what? I can still be creative and have fun and just live my best life. Like, who cares what I quote unquote do for a living? I can still be a creative person in my day-to-day life. And it says here also, always keep heaven on speed dial. So this is your inner child wanting you to check back in with your higher self. Call upon your guides, angels, crossed over loved ones, talk to them, pray to them, communicate to them, because they are listening, they are there, they're very present in your life. And wow, I'm getting a message now from someone. I'm getting major chills all up and down my whole body. Someone did lose either a sibling or a very close friend that when you were young, they were also young. So a friend, a cousin, a family member, sibling, someone that you knew, or someone that you really resonated with that died very young when you were also young, that just really, really affected you, and just it really broke you, just losing this person. If that does not resonate, that is a specific message for just a handful of people. So don't try to like, well, who could this be? You're gonna know. You already know. If this message is for you, you already know. So if that does not apply to you, just let it float on by. But for all of you, always keep heaven on speed dial. And those of you who did lose that person young, that friend, that family member, that just influence in your life, that person who was around your age, maybe a little older, maybe a little younger, but kind of in your same generation is what I'm seeing. Wow, and then I'm seeing also those who have lost a mother. Even if you lost her when you were no longer a child, You lost her younger than you are now. So that inner child is saying it's okay to grieve. It's okay to still call her mommy and talk to her and, wish you could have this, bond with her, because you still do. You still have that. And for those of you who just have a kind of precarious relationship with your mom currently, you can ask heaven for help. You can ask your guides and angels for ways to communicate better with her so that you don't feel triggered, she doesn't feel triggered, things don't just become a complete mess. And I really am drawn up here to the lemons of this Empress card, and I am using a candle. It might be hard for you to see. It's got oranges, citrus fruits on it. If you could see that, I'm not even sure, but I'm really drawn to the fact we've got two citrus situations on the table. So citrus fruits, they are very cleansing and detoxing kinds of fruits. So this is your inner child popping in to say it's time to do a cleanse or a detox of energy, of your health, of your home, just getting rid and clearing the clutter and purging just the sentimental stuff that may even be weighing you down, because after a while the stuff we own begins to own us if it just is constantly in our minds. Like I'm calling myself out here because I have a garage full of old stuff from every age my 10 and 6-year-old have fit into clothing of, and baby toys and all the toys and yard things and baby baths and just everything my kids have outgrown. I've given quite a bit to my brother for his new baby, but I've got a lot of stuff that I've just been holding on to, like, oh, what if we have another kid? What if? And it's like, no, I just need to get that stuff out of my life because it's weighing heavy on my mind. Like, I even have nightmares where I'm trying to pack up a whole bunch of stuff in a backpack to leave, and I can't even find what I need because there's so much stuff. So it's like my own inner child's coming out to say, hey, you don't need all this stuff. So maybe you can relate. All right, so let's also get a couple of, these are the Dream Oracle, or dream reading cards, I should say. So we have Oracle and Dream cards kind of dispersed within. Sometimes I use them as separate decks, sometimes I mix them together. I just feel like mixing them together today just to see what we get. All right, for group 1, as I'm talking about houses, or actually going through and purging our house, look what we have here. House and buildings. What? Oh, here, let me put them down. Let me just put them down, and we might be cut off. No, we're good. Okay. As if you could read this anyway, but I'll read it for you. How's that sound? What does the house or the room of your house represent to you? Is it in order or is it a mess? I love this. What state are you in? Because as within, so without. If we've got a messy, chaotic mind and just like anxious energy, it starts to reflect in our outer world as clutter and accumulation of things that just start to overpower us. I love that this is all lining up. But we also have the flying/falling card, and it says number 4. Oh, this is number 1. So this to me is taking a new beginning in clearing the clutter in your life, clearing clutter in your mind, in your emotional baggage that you may have been carrying around, and just your physical body. Some of you are looking to shed some pounds or to detox. Again, going back to those citrus fruits, detox your own body, because in dreams, in our dream state, in the astral realm, when we are going through a house, it could be our childhood home. Many of you may have recurring dreams about your childhood home, and that is your inner child, asking for attention in some way as well. But a house or even a vehicle, that represents your physical body a lot of times in dreams. So some of you, it's like you're cleaning house physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. You're just clearing the decks, cleaning the house. But with this number 4 card here, this is letting you know you have that support of your guides, angels, crossover loved ones, your own higher self, God, the universe, and also many of you have a very prominent mother or grandmother figure that is very present in your life that is wanting to offer you support now. But with this flying and falling card, it says, what do you need to be free of? Some of you, it's that clutter, that mental stress and extra pounds and just baggage and just toxicity. We're clearing it out, guys. We're clearing it out. So what do you need to be free of? Are you ready to take risks and fly solo? So for some of you, some of that baggage you're looking to release are outdated relationships, or relationships that just are no longer serving your highest good. Could be a significant other, even toxic family members. Your inner child's saying just because they're family does not mean they deserve a place at the table of your life. That's what they're showing me. But it says here also, what do you need to feel empowered? What is it you need to feel empowered? That's such a powerful statement. For many of you, it's more creativity in your life, or even going back to the home situation, allowing the home to reflect who you feel you are on a soul level. So some of you, this is kind of coming up with your own home like aesthetic, or wanting to redesign or decorate, or you just feel like the home you live in does not reflect the style of who you are on a soul level, or that inner child that just loved lots of colors and creativity, and maybe you're just living in a place where you don't have anything on the walls and it's kind of very transient or temporary living situation. Your inner child is just saying, get some of that blue tacky stuff and put a poster on the wall, an inspirational quote on the wall. Do something to make the space your own. Again, even if you're living in a sleeping bag on a friend's couch, just make one little spot your own for now, is really what I'm seeing. Okay, so let's get one more from this. The answer is simple deck. Woo! Give yourself the best. I love that what I talk about, we then pretty much get. Allow yourself to kind of live your best life, whether this is mentally, physically, emotionally, but I am seeing a lot of you allowing yourself to finally have the finer things in life. Some of you have really worked hard over the course of your earlier and later, depending how old you are. I mean, I'm reading for 80-year-olds. I know one person who watches my channel who's 80. I know I'm watching for even 16-year-olds, maybe even younger, who knows, but wherever you are on that lifetime or timeline of your life, you deserve good things. And this doesn't always have to look like you going out and spending money or indulging yourself in sweet sugary goodness. This is what your soul, what your inner child is wanting you, whatever your inner child deems best for you, because your inner child knows what's not meant for them. Think of a young child. They're not afraid to tell you what they don't want. Think of a 2, 3, 4, 5-year-old kid. They're going to tell you what they want, and if they don't get what they want, they're going to let you know they didn't get what they wanted. So maybe some of your inner children, I'm really directed up here to this little mermaid baby, some of your inner children are really crying out for you to allow yourself to have something nice. Treat yourself. Again, if you're someone who struggles with overspending and indulging and compulsive shopping, that message may not be for you. But those of you who really do scrimp and save, and it's hard for you almost with that lack mentality, thinking you need to save all this money because you just need to keep going forward, still allow yourself once in a while to have that bag or shoes or taking that self-help course that's really going to enhance your life. It's going to resonate differently for each of you because I am reading for many people. So however that resonates, whatever give yourself the best means, this could be self-care, self-love, going to the spa, getting a massage, taking a salt bath. This could look like separating yourself from those toxic people in your life. Again, as it resonates, it could be any or all of the above. All right, well, let's get you one more card. What does your inner child want you to know or take care of in your life? Oh, seeing it already. Here we are. We have a higher power. So what did Elvis tell us? Always keep heaven on speed dial. So we've got another 4. I'm getting major chills now already because we have a 4 here and a 4 here. So master number 44 is checking on in to the game here. So you may be seeing a lot of 44. Maybe you're a life path 4. You were born on the 4th or the 44th day of the year, or the 4th month, which would be April, or 4 plus 4 adds up to 8. We also have a 1 over here, and I didn't say 58, which adds up to a 13, which adds up to a 4. Oh, wow, look at this. So we've got 444 on the board, also a 1. So many of you are, I want you, if you don't know what 44, angel number 44 or 444 are, go look them up on Google. I'm not going to let you know which site to go to. Trust your intuition. You'll find which site you need the information from. Look up 44 and 444. But I'm just letting you know, those of you who selected this pile, your inner child wants you to know you are becoming that leader in your own life as a result of you getting closer connected to your soul, your spirit, your higher power, your higher self, God, the angels, your guardian angels, your guides, all of the above. You're getting in touch. Many of you are even having more of your spiritual gifts come online at this time because your inner child, maybe many of you have been doing that inner child wound healing or checking in and asking your inner child, taking your inner child out on a date, and you've been doing the inner child work. I see many of you have been doing the work, and as a result or a gift, you're giving yourself the best by tuning into your higher self, and as a result, you're getting the gift of spirit. You're getting the gift of more of your spiritual gifts. So this is beautiful, but those of you who just are just now starting on a spiritual journey or really aren't on one yet, this is letting you know that inner child would really start to thrive if you were on a more spiritual journey. Again, spirituality means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. So by checking in with your own self, becoming kind of the mother, I did not mention this when I meant to earlier, but I had so much information coming through from Spirit, I forgot to say it. Many of you need to mother and be a beautiful mother to your own inner child. Even if you had a great mother growing up, now that you are where you are and been through what you've been through, you know you're like the best mother, tailor-made to that inner child within. So you can really start mothering that inner child in the best way possible by giving yourself the best now, as in self-care, self-love, unconditionally loving yourself. This is all connected and interwoven to get you to your highest, greatest version in this life. So I love you guys. You will have to let me know below any stories you want to share. I always love to read your comments. I try to at the very least give you a heart. At this point, my channel's growing so quickly. I cannot believe it that it's hard for me now to even keep up with the comments, but again, I try to read everyone at the very least, give you a little heart. But thanks again so much for all your likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and all the things, and I really truly do so hope to see you and your beautiful, lovely inner child back here at The Done Creative, and also over on my live stream channel, The Done Creative Live, where I'm doing readings for you guys over there a few times a week. Link for that channel is in the description below. Alright, bye! Alright, for those of you who selected pile number 2 with the Spacious Tarot, this is the Six of Cups from the Spacious Tarot. We just use this to select your pile. The Six of Cups is that childhood or nostalgia card. So we're just gonna shuffle that right back in. But let's go ahead and find out anything your inner child wants you to know, anything that is standing out that needs healed, or just, you know, what's coming up on your path. Just anything this inner child of yours wants to point out. Let's get into it. We're going to get 3 cards, hopefully no more than 3, Spirit, please, from this Spacious Tarot. Oh. Wow, look at this. Wow, we also got the 6 of Wands in group 1, I believe. Okay, wow. So, look at this. 9 of Swords, Ace of Swords, and 6 of Wands. So, your inner child wants you to know right now, those of you who are in this anxious state, having recurring nightmares, even from your childhood. I'm always directed this sweet little mermaid baby up here. Many of you even may have recurring dreams about your childhood home, people from your childhood, the town you lived in as a child. There's a lot coming through now. My crown chakra is a tingling. So you either think a lot about your childhood or the past, or you have a lot of dreams about it. Maybe even if you are dreaming that you're an adult, but you're back in your childhood home, or the town you grew up in, or you know, revisiting dynamics from your childhood, and it still brings a lot of stress and anxiety into your life. So those of you who selected pile 2, you may have had the hardest childhood, at least of the 2 piles I've read for, between 1 and 2 so far. I'm getting more crown chakra tingles. So there was a lot of childhood trauma or wounds. Even if on the surface you feel like I had a pretty good childhood, maybe there was one event or one thing that happened in your childhood that you can point back to, like you changed after this event happened. Like it changed you, it put you on a different trajectory. And your inner child is coming in to say that, yes, it greatly and deeply affected your life. Or maybe for some of you, this was just everyday living was very traumatic. Whatever your case is, your inner child is stepping in now to say, you needed to go through and experience these things to become who you are now. This was written in your soul contract. This was on, you know, a soul contract. You know, that's what they keep showing me, like a rolled up scroll that's a contract that you signed before incarnating to experience these things, to meet these people, to have these things happen, because this was going to be for your major soul's evolution. Like, this is a major step up. I see someone even grew up with a disability of some sort, or you had a brother or sister who was mentally disabled, physically disabled in some way, or even a parent that had a major accident that it really shifted the way the rest of your childhood played out. This is heavy energy, so it really made you grow up fast. Some of you had to grow up really fast. Major. Wow, I have full body chills, you guys. I didn't get many chills, if any, in group 1, so wow. But when the chills come in like this too, Spirit is very close, very close. So Spirit, maybe you as a child would have kind of scary spiritual experiences that at the time you thought, oh, these are ghosts, or these are goblins, or boogeymen, or monsters, and it really scared you, and you shut down your spiritual gifts because, oh, hell no, ain't happening here, sis. Like, this is scary stuff for some of you. But they're showing me energetically or spiritually, this is not scary stuff at all. It's just as that child, our imaginations really run wild with what we do see, feel, experience, that we always take it as negative because maybe we saw, I'm seeing you like watching, like maybe as a 4 or 5-year-old, you watched some sort of horror movie and it really like traumatized you. And you're like, oh my gosh, there's Freddy Krueger in my closet, or Jason is like waiting with his big knife machete thingy ready to get me. And, maybe you even to this day love horror movies, but maybe there was just this one time when you were very young, you watched a movie kind of before you should have, like, you know, before you were kind of those formative years where you could handle that energy more. Very specific. Wow, Spirit is going in with some specific examples. But again, if this does not resonate for you, we just haven't gotten quite to your part of the reading yet, so hold in there. I'm just showing you what Spirit's showing me. So either this is really going to resonate or really not, but just know if it's really not resonating, there's more in store. We got more. We're only into one card of these 3 here, so let's keep going. With this Ace of Swords, this is letting me know that you as children may have been very boisterous or communicative. I'm seeing many of you, though, that were told by parents, grandparents, authority figures, you need to shut up, you need to be quiet, children should be seen and not heard, so you shut down that voice, that throat chakra. Wow, I'm almost feeling strangled. Maybe some of you were, gagged in some way, either by like, you better be quiet, you have no room to talk here, your parents told you had no voice, or physically assaulted you and maybe put their hands around your throat. Wow, this really went dark. I apologize, you guys, but I'm just showing you what Spirit, I'm just telling you what Spirit's showing me. But this in some way, at least energetically, has kind of stifled some of your throat chakra energy, and your inner child wants you to know now is the time to either heal that, or if you already have healed this, that keep on speaking your truth. This is your life to come out of that persecution, and actually, you're not going to be a martyr in this life. You are going to be able to get your voice heard. Your story will be shared. You will be able to speak from whatever transpired in your past. I'm seeing this inner child even stepping in as like a 16-year-old boy or girl where there was maybe a physical assault or altercation with someone of a similar age, either 4 years older or around their same age, that you kind of stole your innocence or forced you to grow up faster than you wanted to. This doesn't always have to look like assault, as in like, beating someone up or sexually assaulting someone. This could also be peer pressure. I'm seeing as peer pressure coming in to get you to do things that you don't, in your moral compass, you didn't want to do, but maybe some of you bend to the will of your friends or these people who were bullying you or something. But now's the time to overcome that. If you haven't already, I see many of you have done a lot of healing, even counseling, and really gone through it to get you where you are. But you're going to continue forward. Many of you are going to be writing books or speaking out on social media about the ways of injustice in the world as far as abuse. Like I'm just seeing like social work or something where you just want to make a difference, speaking out in against something, but more you're pro letting people have their voice, leaving people to not be abused and stuff like that, getting better care, better food, better life. You're looking to improve people's lives, and it's beautiful. And you're going to be able to do it because look, 6 of Wands. And this 6 of Wands, your inner child's coming in, like, even if you felt like you were the odd man out or that you lost so much innocence in your childhood, this is showing me with this crown here, you guys actually have utilized these things you've been through to succeed in life or to overcome everything you've been through and succeed anyway, or overcome them anyway. You did not let these things take you down. And I'm seeing someone now actually watching this going, yeah, I did let it take me down for a long time. I let it take me down. But this inner child saying, but you didn't let it keep you down. That's the difference. Even if you're still down, even if you still right now at the time of this reading are feeling like, well, I did let it get me down. I'm down. You can still get back up. Your inner child's like, you can get back up. I'm with you. I'm going to help you up. Here we go. We're going to do this thing. But many of you, most of you, have already gotten back up, and you already know. Yeah, I overcame this, and I'm so much farther than I was back then. So me and your inner child both want to step in and give you a big, I don't want to do too loud because my mic will peak, so I don't want to do that, but big round of applause. Just imagine a whole stadium full applauding you because you guys have really overcome some ish. And wow, you guys are strong. Amazing, amazing souls. Let's get into some more information. Anything your inner child wants you to know, anything you can work on, heal, just whatever this inner child wants to speak out about. We've got Miles Davis popping in. So what do we have here? We've got play like you don't know how. So this is interesting. This is really showing me that you kind of come into life and everything you attack, I say that lovingly, like I'm going to tackle this new thing. Like everything you tackle or attack in life, you just have a very open mind or like beginner's mind about it. So even if you are an expert at something, like you're still open-minded to learn new things or to see things from a new perspective, where a lot of other people get jaded or, they think they know better than everyone else because I've been doing this 24 years or, I've been in this job for 13 years, so I know better than you. You're still that person who, even if you've been in the same job or you've, been doing things, you've been around the block, so to speak, you're not someone who's going to discount some newcomer's perspective. You're going to be like, wow, that's amazing. I love that you see things that way. I want to embrace that. I love that. Like, you're very open-minded. And maybe you guys even speak out, or I'm seeing someone that actually has a YouTube channel where you're actually having a commentary about something or keeping an open mind about something. Maybe you're trying to like I used to be part of what's called AuthorTube, and I'm seeing the Spirit show me like Kate Kavanaugh. She's an author tuber. She would try writing like Stephen King and do his writing routine. Then she would try writing like Maya Angelou and, try out her writing routine and just trying new things, coming from this place of open-mindedness, because this is open-mindedness and wanting to communicate like in a major way. So some of you may be even doing like movie reviews or makeup product reviews, or you're just very open-minded, and maybe even reading tarot, because you can't just, you can have your own life experience, but when Spirit's showing you other people's perspectives and other people's shoes, it's kind of easy for me to fit into that role of, oh wow, I didn't have a childhood like this, but I can see things from that perspective because I am an empath. A highly sensitive empath at that I can put myself in other people's shoes and, at least feel what it might be like. Again, I can't just completely immerse myself in like a whole culture's suffering or anything like that. I'm not trying to say that, but I can at least be very open-minded and see things from other people's perspectives. So maybe you guys are doing something very similar and your inner child's like, yes, keep going on that. But it says here, progress is impossible without shock. And this is maybe just going back to that childhood of shocking events, traumatic events, even older childhood going into early adulthood. I think any stage of our lives before this now moment is still inner child, because we were still younger than we were right now. Who I am when I started this reading, however many minutes ago, I'm older now, so that's almost like the younger version of me, or the inner child version of me that's still in operation. So this is saying anything you even have gone through in your adult life that's been very shocking, you've really gained that progress. Look at the progress you've made. You've succeeded, you've conquered, you've created some sort of victory in your life and overcame whatever shock you had gone through. It's beautiful. But it says here the keynotes are those left unplayed. And pairing this up with this communication, Ace of Swords here, this is almost like sometimes what's unspoken, like between the words, or just kind of the underlying. I'm seeing someone actually writing a book. Again, I think I've used this example in, I guess it was my other pick a card I just filmed, the yes or no. So it wasn't even this pick a card, but Spirit's showing me again, someone writing a book, and it's almost like kind of the words you're not saying, or maybe the tension between two characters, the words that are left unspoken is what really makes or breaks the chapter or the book, or, you just exude. This is what Spirit showed me. This is what your inner child's stepping in. I got major chills up and down both legs now. It's like you have this unspoken air or authority or just amazingness about you that people can't quite put into words. And it's nothing that you've bragged and told people, oh yeah, I do this, or I'm this way. It's just people subconsciously pick up on how amazing you are. And it's just this unspoken kind of mystery. To me, it feels very, very like a K2 or like a South Node, very shadowy. planet, like very hard to pin down. Maybe even Rahu or North Node energy, both are very shadowy planets, very hard to pin down and pinpoint. Rahu or K2 energy. So wherever your North or South Node are in your chart, your inner child's giggling, like full on belly laughs. Like, haha, if you knew when you were a kid what you signed up for, you would have just went right back up to spirit the second you incarnated, because it's a lot, but it's so powerful and transformational for not just you, but those in your life and the world at large. Major chills. You guys are my star seeds. I'm just gonna put it out there. You're my star seeds, my light workers, my earth angels that really had to overcome some not even just in this childhood, but in past lives on earth as well, past lives in other star systems where you were traumatized. But your inner child's laughing like, it's just a game anyway. Once we all go back up to spirit, we can see that this was a game. That is our real life. This is the dream, is what your inner child is showing me. So let's go ahead and get some more information. We're going in with the dream reading cards. All right, we just want 2 from this deck, please, Spirit. Anything the inner child wants group 2 to know. We've got flow coming in here. What else? Oh, here we are. We've got chased. Okay, so many of you actually, Spirit's showing me now, these running dreams where you're running from some boogeyman or bad guy. And again, recurring dreams from childhood where you may have been chased or, you know, felt like you had to hide from someone, something like that. Maybe even as an adult you still have these dreams. But with this chased card, it adds up, the 17 here adds up to an 8. So those numbers might be relevant for you, but 8 is all about taking action, even financial or material abundance in some way. But these are journal prompts here, so if you want to journal about this, feel free to do that. But it says here, what are you running away from? Not just in your dream state, but like in life. Like your inner child's like, what are you running away from? Maybe feel into that. Do a meditation, do some journaling about that just to see. Also, what is making you feel overwhelmed? Anxiety. There's that Nine of Swords coming in hot. What is making you feel overwhelmed in this moment? What was making you feel overwhelmed last week? Or as a child, what was making you feel overwhelmed? Also, what are you afraid of or unwilling to face? So this, again, could be back to that childhood trauma, all the bad stuff that you maybe pushed away in a dark closet and locked the door for good. Your inner child your inner child saying, you know, when you locked up all those bad things, you kind of locked me up as well, is what I'm seeing. So your inner child's like banging on the door, like, let us out. Yes, it's going to be hard to face these wounds, but I want to come out to play again. Because look, if you compare this to, when this reading's over, if you want to scroll back just to like the middle part of pile 1's reading, or possibly, I don't know, I haven't filmed 3 yet, maybe pile 3. This is a very muted color palette, not bright and vibrant like group 1. So it's like this, I keep pointing at this because this is the only child here on the deck, on the table. But this child here is saying, I want to bring the color back into my life. This could be literally like, maybe you wear a lot of black or gray or neutrals. Maybe you decorate as such, but this inner child wants more color, vibrancy brought into your life. I'm seeing someone even maybe going out and dyeing their hair really funky colors, or allowing themselves to wear more prints and fun patterns and whimsical stuff. I'm seeing the word whimsical. So don't just dull yourself so much. That did not come from any card, but I just very overall kind of observation here. But those journaling prompts might be good for you to really dive into that. But with this flow card here, the 27, we got 27 and 17. So 7, you may be a life path 7, born on the 7th, born in July. The number 7 just may be your favorite number or very relevant to you. I just heard 7th heaven. I don't know what that means. It might mean something for someone. But the number 27, that show, the 7th heaven, maybe you watched that as a child, I don't know. But the number 27 adds up to a 9. So you are closing out these cycles. Maybe some of you are facing, and they're showing me too, as you face these inner childhood wounds and traumas and dreams, recurring dreams from your childhood, as you actually heal them, you will stop the nightmares or the dreams that you have as an adult. Even if you're dreaming about things where you're running or hiding, being chased, things that really don't have to do with your childhood, if you have recurring dreams as an adult where you're doing these things, these dreams will begin to stop, or they will begin to just be less and less and less as you do this inner child healing work. Shadow work, shadow work. That's the word we're looking for. So if you don't know what shadow work is, you can look into it. You don't have to go opening a can of worms. Usually there's a trigger or a shadow really close beneath the surface that you can just grab and heal. Usually these things are triggered by other people, maybe someone going against a belief system that we have on social media, or telling us we're uneducated or we're stupid or we're ugly, or calling us out in some way, triggering that wounded inner child. That's an easy way when you do feel triggered to go within and say, okay, inner child, spirit, higher self, what are you trying to show me about myself? And you will get the answer, and you can, and you don't even have to attach any meaning to anything. You don't have to dissect it, moment by moment. You don't have to do any of that. The way to heal it is to feel it. Allow yourself to feel whatever's coming up. Feel it as deeply as you feel you need to feel it. So feel it so you can heal it, so you can deal with it, so you can release it. That's what I always say here on my channel. But with this flow card, it says here, you can't control life's events. And boy, do you know that. You, more than anyone, you know that. But it says here, you can control how you deal with them. Ooh, I just got chills again. It's easier to go with the flow when life challenges you. Emotions can overflow unless you release them. And I didn't even read this. This is, woo. See, this is how spirit works for me. A lot of times I don't even need the cards, but it's like I use the cards because they're cute and pretty and fun. But I'm learning, the more that I learn to trust my own intuition, I just don't even need the cards a lot. If you come to my live stream channel, the Done Creative Live, I go live over there about 3 times a week, and I'm just, answering questions for people over there, and a lot of times I don't even need the cards, or I'll say something that doesn't really have to do with a card, and then the next card I pull is exactly what I said. So you're going to find, your inner child is letting you know, as through my example here, you're going to find you're going to be doing the same thing, or you've always done the same thing. You've had a very deep and connected intuition your whole life. You've been very gifted spiritually your whole life. And even those of you who suppressed that as a child, it's coming back on deck as you do this shadow work, but you got to dig for it. These gifts are locked up in that closet with the shadow and with that inner child. It's all connected, you guys. It's all connected. So flow with what is. When you feel emotional, allow yourself to feel it so you can release it. Woo! I'm getting worked up. But you guys, wow, this all came together. What else does Group 2's inner child want them to know? Here it is. Drop it like it's hot. I just heard drop it like it's hot. Drop it. Okay, I don't want to get copyright strike for singing very poorly, Snoop Dogg. But yes, many of you are dropping even the victimhood, the false. They're showing me false identity, not because you're trying to be someone you're not, but you're trying to be a victim a lot of times, or thinking with limited belief system that, oh, I'm not good enough for that. So you're operating under false pretenses, we'll put it that way. You're not trying to have a false identity, that's what I'm trying to say. You're not doing that, but you're maybe living in martyrdom or victimhood or judgment of yourself and others, and Spirit's saying now's the time to release it. Release it so you can float higher, so you can vibe higher. You're no longer weighed down by the burdens of this 3D stuff that you've been through, because you guys are those starseeds, those light workers, those earth angels that are ascending from the 3rd dimensional consciousness to 5th dimensional consciousness, and you can't bring all this junk with you. And look, this is so colorful. Compared to what's going on when you drop it, you're bringing that color back in, you guys. It's almost like you're going from black and white to wonderful technicolor or, high def, beautiful, vibrant colors. Look at this. Woo, this is so deep, you guys. As you examine and ask your own inner child what it needs, it's going to point out what it needs. And then a lot of it, what it does need, is just to release your identity of that victim that you were in the past, to drop it, to release it, because we've got a 3 here, which is all about creativity, collaborating. I'm seeing your inner child, your own self, who you are now, and your higher self collaborating to create the best version of you. That's what I see. And then your inner child, I just saw it step forward and drop a mic, like mic drop. You got to include that inner child and who you are now and the higher self to raise this vibration, to do this shadow work, to step out of the old to step into the new. Wow, that's so powerful. All right, what else do you got for us, inner child of Group 2? What else is wanting to come out? Here it is. Maybe. There's 2 of them. Okay, got one. Got one. Ooh, this came out in group 1 as well. So yes, the inner child wants both groups 1 and 2 to step more into their higher self role. And once again, already called it, already knew what that higher self wanted to be more part of the process of what's going on to create more light, bring more color in. But as you do this, as you do the shadow work, as you raise your vibration, you're getting more in connection to this higher power and bringing that color back into your life. It's so beautiful. But with the number 4 here, 4 and 3 add up to 7, so there's another 7. So basically you have 777 on the board. Go Google, what does the angel number 777 mean? Maybe you're seeing a lot of 7s lately as well. But the number 4 is all about stability, support from your guides, angels, crossover, loved ones. But again, this might be a slow process. This is not an overnight success. This is not something you put in a microwave and then ding, it's ready. You're working hard on this shadow work, this tapping into who you are on a more higher self level. You're dropping the ego and all of the false identities of victim and martyr in your life. You're dropping it like it's hot, and stepping into this role of higher authority in your life. Your higher self is coming online. That is the ultimate message. As you heal, your higher self comes back online even more than ever, and you get more access to those gifts that you may have closeted away or spirited away, pun intended, as a child because it terrified you. You're now opening up to allow those gifts to come online because your natural state is spirit. So of course you have spiritual gifts. Of course you do. Your natural state is being a spiritual soul. You're a soul having a human experience, not the other way around. So that is all I'm seeing for you. Wow, we went deep on this. This was a beautiful reading. My amazing group 2s with all the chills and all the validations and basically precognitively seeing the next card before it came out or before I really looked at it. You guys are going to be experiencing this too. It's like your higher self is so online for you that you're just knowing what to do before you even know that you need to do it. Beautiful. I love you guys. Thanks again so much for all your likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and all the things. And I really truly do hope to see you right here back at the Den Creative, and also bring your inner child over to my live stream channel, the Den Creative Live, where I go live doing readings for you over there 3 days a week. Link for that channel is in the description, but I will see you there and hopefully back here as well. I love you. Bye. All right, group number 3 are those of you who selected the White Newman Tarot. This is just the cover card here, the 6 of Cups, which is all about childhood nostalgia. So I thought it'd be a great cover photo for you to know which deck you wanted to work with today. All right, so let's go ahead and find out whatever messages your inner child wants you to know, anything that needs healed or needs pointed out for you to live your best life, just whatever messages want to come through from your amazing inner child. We're gonna get 3 cards here from the White Newman. We got 1 already, 2 of Cups. Ooh, and we've got, ooh, you guys I think are getting more for your money here. You have 5. I wanted 3, Spirit, but you're giving us 5, so we're gonna roll with it anyway. It's gonna kind of change the way I line everything out compared to the other groups, but we're here for it. So okay, so I'm gonna let you know what we've got here. We've got the 2 of Cups, the 3 of Swords, the Knight of Swords, the 7 of Pentacles, and the Ace of Wands. Wow, so there is a lot going on here for this inner child message, and I am, just like groups 1 and 2, I kind of want to try to go back to that childhood just for a moment, just to kind of feel into the energy of that, see if there's anything that really went down, it was kind of affecting you, just whatever wants to come out. And I'm already seeing, when this 2 of Cups came out, I got soul sisters, I got soul brothers, best friend energy. So this was someone you were best friends with that may possibly have stabbed you in the back with this 3 of Swords. But before I drew anything else, I got a very beautiful, vibrant, lighthearted energy. So some of you, many of you, may still be in contact with your childhood best friend, or you really, you still think fondly of this person. If you're not in each other's lives, you still, there's no ill will there. But for others of you, I am seeing that maybe you even lost to death this childhood best friend. And we did kind of pick up a similar vibe in group 1 with the loss of someone very close to you. But this could even have been, that best friend is like, I'm your best friend, and then they, while your back is turned, they stab you in the back. I'm seeing those 3 scenarios. So you're still connected closely with this best friend. You were stabbed in the back by this best friend, went your separate ways, or maybe those of you that maybe lost a best friend. And it didn't have to be that you lost this best friend in childhood. They may have passed away since childhood. Again, that may be very specific for just a handful of people. And I am seeing some of you that maybe this wasn't your best friend from like age 5 on up, but maybe you met this person in high school, middle school even. So as it resonates, take it as resonates. Again, lots of energies coming in because we've got so many cards and so many different life stories of you guys, so only take what resonates. But with this Knight of Swords, this almost reads as someone who would speak without thinking a lot of times, or would kind of put their foot in their mouth a lot. Maybe that was you as a young child, or you had a fear of doing that, like saying the wrong thing to the wrong person, or, you would feel stupid if you spoke up. Or I'm also seeing someone like in a choir class where maybe someone made fun of the way you sang or something like that, but it kind of shut your throat chakra down because of something you either did or were afraid you would do or say. But your inner child wants you to know you're changing that, you're bringing this around. But I'm also seeing someone who was very quick on their words, quick with their feet, like spoken word poetry, rap, very good at thinking very quickly on their feet. Maybe like a improv stand-up comedian type. So maybe you're really quick with your words, quick to think your way out of a scenario, or quick to think of a joke to, make light of a situation that's going on. But whatever it is this means, this is you wanting to do it to help other people not feel ashamed or embarrassed, or just you kind of around maybe those best friend types that you had, that you felt you could speak your truth, you could just speak without thinking, and they wouldn't judge you. I'm seeing lots of scenarios here, you guys. But with the 7 of Pentacles, this lets me know that you probably still have a lot of people in your life from your childhood. You still are very close to your family. You still are very close to some of your friends or neighbors or people you knew as a young child. Maybe you still live in your hometown. I could take it that way as well. But those of you that don't still live in a hometown, maybe you just still have a lot of close connections with people you had from your childhood, especially family. But for those of you who are like, my family sucks, I'm out of here, and you just have maybe 1 or 2 close people from your childhood, this can still apply, that you've really gone the distance on relationships. And even because she is very closely connected to this bull here, this could be Taurus. I mean, this is Pentacle energy anyway, Earth energy. So Taurus, the sign of Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising. Maybe you yourself are Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, or prominent placements such as Mercury. Mercury, Taurus is really standing out to me. Maybe even having Taurus in your 3rd house, which would make you a Pisces ascendant, or having Taurus 3 away from your moon, or 3 away from your sun or ascendant, something like that. But there is this really big focus on the Taurus energy. So wherever Taurus rules in your chart, let's just take me for instance. I'm a Libra rising, so my Taurus is actually located in my 8th house, and I do have Mercury in Taurus, which is funny enough, fun fact. But it was hard for me to acknowledge my gifts as a child and to speak my truth as a child, so I buried it. I hid it, a lot of it away, which is an 8th house thing, to hide something, to bury it, or to keep it a secret from other people. I learned at a very old age, in my 30s is when I learned that I actually had synesthesia. And one thing, kind of going back to this example of the Knight of Swords, of speaking before thinking, I told somebody, I'm like, I can't wait for Wednesday. It's a blue day. I love blue days. And my friend and a couple other people outside the gym class, like we were done with gym, came out of the locker room, just standing there. I was in 7th grade. And they look at me like, what? What do you mean by blue day? I'm like, well, that day's blue, Thursday's orange. And I got even weirder looks. Like, and then someone, I can't remember what they said, but I know it was very hurtful. Like, oh yeah, someone's the R word, or someone's, something really derogatory. And I'm like, what? And I even was like, what? don't know what I'm talking about? Like, I just assumed everyone knew that Wednesdays were blue, Thursdays were purple, you know, all of that. I assumed that they knew. And they're like, that's weird. I've never heard of that. It's so weird. You're so weird. You know, something like that. Mean Girls. But it wasn't until I was in my 30s that I learned that what I do with things, how I correlate one thing to another, I kind of mix senses like that I actually have synesthesia. I had no idea that was a thing. I had no idea. So maybe you're learning as an adult that something you went through or, you know, identified as a child, you now have a label for that. I mean, I don't like to label things. Like, me personally, I don't like to label things, but just knowing that I'm not alone, that I'm not one random weirdo in this whole universe, it makes me feel a little bit better that there are other people who are synesthetes as well. But yeah, random example, maybe you yourself are a synesthete. You have synesthesia or something like that. I don't know. But Spirit really wanted me to go in on a personal example, just so you guys kind of know what I'm talking about here. But with this Ace of Wands, this lets me know, even if you were bullied, even if you were made fun of by other people, a lot of people did it because they were jealous. Let's just put it out there. You stood out in some way that really intimidated other people. Maybe you were very happy-go-lucky, lighthearted. Maybe you had again, back to my personal example, maybe you had red hair or a hair texture or hair color, or just your physical appearance. You stood out in such a way that you were different from a lot of people around you, and maybe you even got made fun of or bullied for that fact, but it was because these people were actually jealous or thought, wow, I wish I could be that bright or shine that bright or be that awesome, so they had to like bring you down. It's almost like that analogy where someone blew out your candle hoping to make theirs burn brighter, and it didn't work. It just made you feel really bad about yourself, and they still felt like crap too. This is letting you know, even like your inner child is wanting you to know. As an adult, you really stand out without even trying a lot of times, and it has to do with your communication, the way you communicate, the way you show up in the world. And to me, you are this person here that wants to help those who have been in pain. So all the pain you went through as a child, the teasing, the bullying, you should be seen and not heard. We did get that, I think, in group 1 or 2. Oh man, I don't remember. It's been a minute. Where you weren't allowed to speak your truth, or you felt you had to censor yourself in some way because you didn't want to get made fun of. Your inner child is letting you know, now you can shine. It's safe to shine. It's safe to be who you are. And people already are like looking at you like you're on a pedestal anyway, but you're that person, you're like, I don't want to be on a pedestal. I just want everyone to feel heard and supported and like they matter. Like that's where you're coming from. But maybe you, even as an adult, looking back to some of your past relationships, you wish you had a soul sister, soul brother kind of relationship or connection in your life. You're longing for that, maybe even soul family or people you feel you fit in with. Those of you who didn't feel you fit in with your friends or family members growing up, you're still longing for, or maybe have in that time since childhood, you've found kind of more your soul family rather than the family you were born into. But if you haven't found that yet, your inner child is wanting you to know. You're going to find it. It's going to be available to you at any point, but you're doing some inner child work and healing to overcome some of this stuff you've been through, and it's going to really put you in a whole new vibration. It's really beautiful. All right, any other words of wisdom and advice from this inner child? Anything that you need to know, the inner child wants you to know? Here we are. We've got Frank Sinatra, Old Blue Eyes himself, coming in. What do we have here with Frank Sinatra? It says, everyone looks up to the guy behind the guy. That is so interesting. So some of you may even have been, afraid to stand out. So you really kind of were the wingman of your best friends growing up. But everybody, even though you were trying to really highlight and, allow others to really love and acknowledge and cherish this best friend of yours, again, you stood out like a sore thumb in such a good way that other people sometimes maybe felt they had to bring you down. It's because they looked up to you, or they thought you had something they didn't. Even though you tried to hide behind the scenes a lot of times, either behind a friend or just try to fit in with the crowd, it just didn't quite work. People still saw you shine in that light, basically. But it says here, fly yourself to the moon of your choice. So this is like saying the gifts you had as a child and even now were completely out of this world. Like, you hear that expression that I even have on my wall back here. I love you to the moon and back. It's like, which moon? The one for Earth or one on some distant galaxy? Like, which moon are we talking about? You don't have to choose. You don't have to settle for just the moon of Earth. You can go anywhere. But many of you did, as a child, you did settle for that Earth moon because you thought that was all that was possible. So your inner child is saying, those of you who have overcome those limiting beliefs, they're like applauding you. Good job, you've done it. You've overcome a lot of what you were put into in a box by other people or by your own self, just wanting to dull that light so you wouldn't have to explain yourself to other people. But it says here also, you only get one shot at life, so aim high. And again, yes, I do personally believe in reincarnation. Many of you also may firmly believe in reincarnation. But old Blue Eyes is right here. We only get one shot at this life. You get one opportunity to be you, the person you are right now with the name that you have. You have one chance to be this person, who you are on a soul level, but through the personality of insert name here. You get one shot at this, so aim high. Don't settle for less than what you know is owed you or what is due you or what you deserve. Shooting past the moon of Earth and going to that moon, one of those moons of Jupiter or a moon of some distant galaxy's planet. Like, the sky is not the limit for you guys. It is much, much, much beyond that. So let's get some more cards. Wow. Your inner child is done with you settling for less because you deserve more than you even think at this moment. You really do. Okay, we want this one and we want this one. Ooh. Look at this. We've got manifest and transformation. So let's see. I don't want to cut these off at the bottom, so hopefully I'm avoiding that. Okay, so we're going to start here with the manifest card. So 48, 4 plus 8 adds up to 12, which adds up to a 3, which is all about creativity, collaboration. And is it just me, or does she not look like Taylor Swift? Let me get up on her here. I don't know. She kind of looks like Taylor Swift to me. So maybe some of you as a child really looked up to Taylor Swift or like to sing a lot of Taylor Swift, sing a lot of Taylor Swift songs. But I'm just seeing maybe some of you just wanted to be like a singer or a songwriter when you were little, or maybe you wrote a lot of songs, sang a lot as a child. Going back to that choir thing that I showed, what I was saying. Maybe you loved singing, but someone made fun of you, or you maybe just didn't want to sing too loud because you didn't want people to actually hear, to be able to critique you. Something like that is really standing out just from the picture here. And also unicorn. You can try to dull that light as long and as much as you want, but no matter what you do, you are a unicorn among horses. It's like what Spirit is showing me. And again, we've got 2 unicorns over here, so it's like, yes, I picked right with the little decor here. But it says here, manifest your dreams and watch them materialize. Be willing to work on the inside to make manifestation possible. Make your intentions clear. Doing that inner work, that inner child healing, shadow work, doing all this work is going to put you up into a vibration where you can actually manifest what it is you're hoping to accomplish in your life. Especially with this Ace of Wands, this is that inspiration to take action. This is not the action itself or the guarantee that this is going to pay off. If you take this Ace of Wands, she's holding a lantern here. You could light this Ace of Wands up and have it your torch into the distance of what you're planning to accomplish and manifest in your life. But you guys are taking this inspired action in your life and you're running forward with it through the actions you're taking and the steps you're taking to create the life you want. So your inner child says, keep going in the direction of your dreams, because these dreams are not put in your heart for no reason. These dreams were, especially those trying to go after a childhood dream, something you've dreamed of since childhood and you're still trying to make it happen. Don't give up, because there's a reason you've been on this path so long. Don't give up. Some of you may need to go to New York to find the answer to your questions, or some of you may even have been born in New York or have lived in New York. I don't know. I just now saw that, and I know he sings the song New York, New York, so there may be an additional message in the song New York, New York by Frank Sinatra for you to look into or get some additional guidance from. But we also have here the number 28, transformation, and we've got it 48 and 28, so there's 2 8s. So maybe angel number 88 means something to you. Maybe you were born in 1988. There's something about 88. So going and looking up angel number 88 and getting some guidance from that. But there is this need for taking action with the 8. 8 is all about action, manifestation, being the magician and alchemist of your own life, and creating financial or material abundance as a result of taking action in the direction of your dreams. But with this transformation card here, it says, commit to acting on new ideas, Ace of Wands, new ideas and longings. Take a leap of faith, begin again. So those of you who are looking to start something new coming up, or you've just started something new, or even been thinking, maybe I should start something new, do it. Your inner child loves and thrives on new energy and new inspiration. But with this transformation card, I'm seeing that many of you growing up may have, felt like the ugly duckling or the odd man out, or like you weren't as pretty as other people or as cute as other people. But this is showing me you really did have a glow up from those maybe early kind of tumultuous tween and teen years. You really did have a glow up. Even if you feel right now like I was so much cuter back then, I didn't know it then, but now I know it. This is letting you know you're in the same energy. You're cute now too. You just don't know it yet. And really, it's not all about looks anyway. It's just that inner light that reflects outwardly that a lot of times can appear as, magnetic attraction or physical attraction in people. And I'm not just talking sexually, I'm just talking like magnetically. You're drawn to certain people and repelled by certain other people. But if you have an ugly heart or an ugly attitude about life, it's not going to resonate with a lot of people, and a lot of people are going to see that. So it's almost like your light shines so bright and you're so authentic and you're so beautiful that even if you try to dull your light, it doesn't work, because people can see the beauty through whatever you're trying to cover up and get to the heart of how beautiful you are anyway on the inside, and it's going to reflect on the outside. I'm just saying. But there is this transformation taking place in many of your lives right now, and that's why you clicked on this video, because your inner child is letting you know, even if you feel like you're still in that chrysalis phase, or like you haven't even gone into the chrysalis phase yet, you're gonna do it. You're gonna be able to do it. But it's through your own hard work, dedication, and moving forward that you're gonna make this dream a reality. You're gonna manifest what you've been wanting and watch it materialize. All right. What else? What other messages from group 3's inner child? And if I've called you any other group at all, I apologize. I've been filming a couple different videos now. I've been filming for a few hours, so sometimes I get mixed up when I've been on a while. So group 3's inner child, what do they want you to know? You are safe. Oh, and I love this with the message we were getting earlier with, having to, not feel safe in who you are, or speaking your truth, or whatever it is. You are safe. Your inner child's wanting you to know. Now is the time to shine that light. And look, I love this. You've emerged. You've emerged from that chrysalis. You are safe to go down and experience the transformation that you feel you want to on that soul level. And you will emerge as that butterfly. You will be safe. And look, birds do feed on moths and caterpillars and butterflies, and this is just showing you like you are like safe. Like this flower is kind of protecting the view of these birds up here. These birds can't even see this beautiful butterfly shining brightly, so it's showing me almost those energies or people that see that light, or they can't even see it. It's almost like you shine so bright, you can only attract those who are of like mind, or those who want to see you succeed or want to shine as well. And those haters, those negative people, those negative influences in your life, it's almost like that you shine so bright they can't even see you anymore. So you're safe. You're safe to go down the path you want, to manifest that thing you want to do, be the person you want to be. You're safe to do that. Spirit has your back. You are safe. And we have 48 here and 48 here. Holy goodness, you guys, that is a power number for you. So look up angel number 48 as well, or 4848, because it doubles and amplifies that energy when it's repeated like that. Go look up angel number 4848. Your inner child wants you to know. But you can also break that down to a 12, which adds up to a 3, which adds up to a 3. So also master number 33. So 4848 resonates also with master number 33. So go look those up. 33, the 8s, 88, and 48. These are all numbers that you can go have a little bit of homework to figure out. Okay, let's get you one more card. Message from your inner child. Oh, I'm getting really dizzy all of a sudden too, you guys. Wow, that's powerful. Wow, a leg up. Okay, so you are safe. You have a leg up. You are spiritually protected. That's what I'm seeing. This flower here that's kind of shielding the light of this amazing, beautiful yellow butterfly here, and also solar plexus chakra, yellow. Confidence. That's that chakra of confidence. So look into that chakra healing of the solar plexus, or activating the solar plexus chakra. That can really help you out here. But this leg up is spirit. Because look, the number 34 here adds up to a 7, which is all about spiritual connection, spiritual communication, inner knowledge, inner wisdom, being a hermit, learning the truth of reality, which you guys have been doing, I think. And this is really going to reflect in what you're doing now. You have your whole spirit team that's got your back. They are protecting you as you get this leg up to create and manifest the dreams and watch them materialize into your day-to-day life. This is such transformational, powerful, beautiful energy that your inner child has illuminated for you today. So I hope it resonated. You'll have to let me know below any stories you want to share or just anything you want to discuss about this. If it resonated, if it didn't, I still love to hear from you guys. And my channel's growing kind of quickly right now, so I apologize if I can't get to everybody's comments. I still try to at least read and then at least heart every comment that I read. And then if I can, I try to leave a comment as well. But I love you guys so much, and thanks again so much for all your likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and all the things. And I really truly do hope to see you right here back at the Done Creative, and also over on my live stream channel where I go live over there a few times a week. Link for that channel is in the description below. All right, bye.